Hey, everybody, and welcome back to episode 3 of what's the name of our show? It's the Nonsense Zone. Yeah, off to a great start already. Here we
Andy.
see. I'd like to introduce you to my guest host, Lenny Bruce. And
Wait, which way am I? Oh, right there.
Oh, Lenny?
I got all kinds of crap going on here. All right.
Yeah, and I noticed last time, like at the end of the show, for some reason, like the editing software was like pushing me off the screen almost when it was splitting. So yeah, we got neat stuff to figure out. We're trying a different program to record this time, so it could be a train wreck. Who knows?
We hope.
Yeah. We're at our best when shit's falling apart.
Did you shave?
Yeah, I took about 3 inches off of my beard.
Very good. That's where all the germs hide. That's why you're getting sick.
Probably. Andy. Yeah. So a little background. I am incredibly sick right now. I had 2 weeks ago had RSV and that hung on for about 2 weeks. And then I had a couple of days where it's like, all right, I'm getting better. Got a couple workouts in and we'll touch base on running, but I want to do a run in the near future. And then I just in the middle of the night was like, wow, got an awful scratchy throat. Help.
Scratchy.
Help me.
Andy.
And then but yeah, I went to work. I kind of suffered through the day. I got home and I was like, wow, I am full-fledged sick. And,
that's living.
So I went back to the urgent care and got tested for everything. And they, said I don't have anything. So, hey, that's good. No COVID, no flu, but an ear infection. And still have some residual RSV stuff in the lungs, which is all kinds of fun.
Awesome. I'm happy for you.
Hey, thanks, Len. And I'm counting on you to holler at me. I don't care if we're on air. If you catch me sniffing too much into the microphone, because I am, that's very real possibility. Lenny?
So what do we got going on today?
Well, I just want to talk about the show a little bit. We could conceivably have some new watchers, listeners, and Lenny.
I thought they were here.
And just kind of talk about who we are and what the show is and what we want the show to be, especially since I think I kind of did this in the first episode and then we had to cut all that out. So good time, third episode, good time to roll back to that. First, I'll talk about myself and Lenny Bruce. Lenny and Bruce and I have been pals for probably 35 years now-ish, somewhere in that ballpark.
Andy.
What? Hello?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, our whole lives at this point.
I think we met in 5th grade and just went on from there.
We lied to each other.
Yeah,
about everything, and we became friends.
Yeah. So Len's really good at lying about stuff especially for the sake of a joke. And I'm a person that doesn't really believe anybody, but for some reason I believe Len every time, and it has bitten me so many times.
Remember the camping outing? I thought of that the other day.
And that's kind of where I was going with that. Yeah, there was this person that was not having a great time in high school. I don't think people weren't all that nice to her.
Oh, come on.
I, on the other hand, befriended this person because I was like, you know what? She's a nice girl. I'm going to give her a shot. We ended up becoming friends and really good friends. And then somewhere along the way, Len says, hey, remember that camping trip? I said, yeah. Well, so-and-so was telling everybody that you put the moves on her and that she shot you down. And I was like, what? And I instantly just red in the face mad because I was like, I was nice to her. And then lo and behold, and that kind of went on, and he,
he was furious.
Yeah, and of course, Len's poking at it a little bit more, trying to get me as mad as possible. So we're walking down the street one day, and there she is, and that's exactly what Len did, and I just started calling her every name in the book.
You made up names,
and she's just like, "What did I do?" And And I was just like, I was
high pitch what? Still like, what?
and yeah,
Oh,
making
you
up
let her
stuff
have it.
about me, and wow, how dare you? How could you? I thought we were friends, and blah blah blah, and he's loving every second of it, and I didn't think anything of it, and then it just kind of like, all right, did not correct
Nice
it
job,
or
Andy. Get her.
didn't. And then I don't know, fast forward a couple of weeks, and I'm at the store, and she comes in, and I was about to let her have it again, and our other friend's like, whoa, hey. I was like, what? And he's like, Len made all that stuff up, right? I said, what? And I was like, instantly like, oh my God.
You never mended. You never mended though, did you?
Oh, no, well, I actually, we worked together one shift at McDonald's, like a year or two later. And I went up to try to make amends, and she rightfully so, wanted no part of it. I did not deserve her forgiveness one bit. I was like, man, I feel really bad about, everything. And just like, okay. And she walked away.
Like, but you know what? The story is much more precious than the friendship would have been.
Yeah.
You got plenty of friends.
I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That's the same girl that came into a party when we were in high school. The only person that I've ever seen come in with a room full of teenagers.
Seniors.
With a freshly baked cake. A nice freshly baked cake. And she made the huge mistake of setting it in front of me.
Well, without missing a beat, didn't seem like he had, like, it just right off the top of his, Len is like the quickest mind when it comes to a joke that I've ever met. And I've gotten compliments in myself, and I'm like, no, I know a guy you got to meet, because he is so much faster than I am. And just without hesitation, Len
I waited till she left the room.
Oh, did you?
At least gave her that. Yeah, I believe so. Anyway.
Just here, go ahead. Your story. Go ahead.
No, you go. You were the witness.
He just picks up a spoon and says, "Hey, somebody forgot to stir the cake," and then he just proceeded to mutilate that cake, just like he was mixing a bowl of,
It was a work of art. It turned into a work of art.
And then she comes, my cake.
High pitch again. Same high pitch.
Yep.
Very disappointed.
Yep. So yeah, so you know how I think in one of the previous episodes I said I owe a lot of apologies out there. That's one of them right there. That, like, yeah.
The laughter though.
The other, and this, I don't know apology for this or anything, but this other time, and you'll love this once you figure out what story I'm going to.
Oh boy,
where Len lied to me and I bought it, hook, line, and sinker.
Come on.
I don't remember how old, maybe 6th or 7th grade. And there was a senior, and somewhere along the line, we figured out that, Three Stooges, if Curly used to go, whoop, 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 and that was like, this guy saw red every time somebody did that, and don't know what was going on, but we just torment here. Bullying. Yeah. How many of these bullying cases are the seniors getting picked on by the 6th grader?
We were relentless no matter what age you were.
And so just anytime we saw him in the hall, whoop, 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 and he'd start chasing us, and we'd run and see him again later in the day. So I don't know. So some time had passed. It might have been a few days. I don't know. Len comes up to me and says, "Hey, so-and-so, I did the whoop, 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 whoop." And he started coming at me, and I just said, "You know what? I'm not running anymore." So Len says, I stood up and I said, "Come on, you fat fucker." And he says, he walked over, he put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, you stood up to me, and I respect that.
Good boy.
I was like, and so, oh, hey, I got an idea.
Oh yeah, I witnessed it too. I could picture it like it was yesterday.
So I let him corner me. I gave a whoop, 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 and he's coming in, moving in for the kill, and I say, "Come on, you fat fucker!" I just
did the hunch too.
And I just hear Len erupt laughing in the background, and I was like, I just fell for it again.
Yeah. I mean, I think he smeared you against the wall, didn't he?
I mean, he made a lunge. I don't know if he actually
Oh,
made
there was an
contact or
attack.
not, but
There was an
yeah,
attack.
yeah, it was.
You were waiting for to reap the reward for
Yeah,
standing up to him.
I did. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a. I respect you, and
Yeah, he respected you, all right. You
yeah,
know, seeing that he was 6 grades ahead of us and 3 times our size.
yep.
But it was look at the story,
It's
Andy.
like there's a story
There's the story.
that is one of my favorite stories.
Ah,
Definitely.
mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too.
I get repetitive with my stories, and I have to apologize to my wife a lot. But that's one of them that I think she's
Ugh.
probably heard a dozen times now. And yeah,
You were ready. You were ready for battle, figuring you were going to get a reward from it.
figuring yeah that there was gonna be no battle, that I was gonna get
Ah.
praise for it. Like, oh yeah,
But you're still getting praise because look at the story it turned out to be.
that's true. It is a lifelong story.
Oh
and,
man.
and I think I don't think now, if we were to look at him, I don't think he's a very big guy, honestly. But when
No,
you're that much younger than in school, I mean, everybody looks huge to you. You know, it's just
he doubled down, but he was still he still could have hurt us.
oh,
Yep.
absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah. Just like
Mm.
most of the people that we picked on. And, see a lot of people say, I've talked to people that went to the same school as we did, not necessarily in the same class, but underclassmen or whatever. And like, oh, you guys were so mean. It's like, but we were mean to each other. we were mean. We were
Meaner to each other.
meaner to each other. And I don't think any of us really set out to be mean. I just think it was all based on humor, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. But
it was one of those things where, and I think if you asked any of the guys that we were mean to throughout school, that if we saw somebody like actually like was gonna like beat them up or something, I think any one of us would have been like, hey, like stop that. We would have stepped in and stopped it from happening, because
and then
like,
picked on them. Yeah.
and then we would have picked on him for it. Yeah,
Mhm.
but we didn't want anybody messing with anybody that we were, I think I remember rescuing a couple of guys from my friends that were going after him. I'm like, all right, go, like, just almost like throw myself between two of my friends and like yelling back at the kid that was going to get picked on, like, run.
And then pick on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was good stuff though.
It was. And yeah, I mean, the stories go on, and
Mhm.
and then I made the mistake. No, I don't. I'm completely kidding when I say the mistake, but of bringing Len to work with me, and being a supervisor at the time. I remember sitting in my office, and anytime I was in a meeting or anything, and I see Len's head stick out, and he just starts going. and now I have to like keep a straight face and pretend that I don't see my friend making faces at me while I'm having this, probably important business meeting. Like, yeah,
because there's always somebody face to face with you, but their back was turned to me.
yeah,
So I could give the, oh my God, he is. He is. those were tough, because you got me a couple times in the same scenario, and that's tough to hold.
Yeah, I don't want to paint myself as the victim, because I definitely put. Remember the scooter?
Do I ever?
So when gas first hit like $4 a gallon, and this is like 15 years ago, maybe. Everybody was bringing out their old shitty motorcycles and anything that they could do to save money on gas, and they started selling like these generic no-name brand scooters. And this one guy, probably one of the most annoying individuals that I've ever had to work with, went out and bought one of these $1,000 generic scooters that nobody would work on and nobody would do anything with, because I don't know, never heard of the name brand.
They were junk.
And but here it is, like, it had, at the time that this happened, it probably had 100 miles on it, and it looked like it. I mean, it looked brand new, sparkling. Yeah. And all we heard from this guy was Scooterman, hey, and he'd come up to us guys that have motorcycles and be like, did you guys ride your scooters into work today? And we're like, no.
Actually, we got sick of hearing it, so we didn't, just because we didn't want to listen to his stupid head.
And So one day we go out, and the office that we worked in had a very busy drive-through window attached to it, and we decided to put a for sale
Oh,
$300
dude.
sign on his scooter,
What a
and
steal.
then we put his phone number, his work phone number, on that sign, and well, anyways, as we're attaching the sign to it, I mean,
People
this
were
thing
mowing
got
us over.
so much interest. Yeah, this guy comes up, he's like, $300 for that?
Whoa, I'll take it.
And I put my arm around Len, patted him on the back,
You
and
did.
said, "Have fun."
You did.
and I went inside.
He walked away as I was wheeling and dealing with somebody's scooter that I didn't own. I had a sale. I was like, well, I could put you in touch with the owner.
The guy was ready to hand you $300 cash.
He wanted it.
He wanted it so bad, and
oh man!
Like, have
and
fun
that bumbling fool got hundreds of phone calls. Remember?
Oh, he had to shut his phone off. Yeah, it was just ringing off the hook.
I was out on the road, but didn't they ask you
called me
to take the sign down?
Yeah, the drive-through called me and said, "Hey, you gotta take that sign off. People won't leave us alone."
They wanted Scooter Man Scooter.
Oh yeah, imagine Scooter Man had to be angry.
Oh, Scooter Man.
I mean, what, $300? No.
The bumbling fool. Serves him right.
Well, we thought we were witnessing him dying one day, and
we were witnessing him dying,
and we were like, we're looking at each other, going, he's just standing there talking,
holding his chest,
and then we just look at each other. We don't go for help, or we don't do anything. We're just like, is it happening? Is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Today's the day. Today's the day.
It is that. And then after like I don't know, 30 seconds go by, he's like, "Oh, I think I'm all right. And he ended up going into the hospital having like a triple bypass.
we witnessed him having basically a coronary attack,
and did not even begin to, like, the thought of helping this guy did not cross.
He had coffee.
Our
remember,
minds.
He was like, we were just like, oh yeah,
wow. I think.
What? Remember, we talked about being so disappointed after. We're like,
we were just.
We thought we were gonna watch him get hauled away on a gurney.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. Hey, maybe he's dead.
He might be dead.
He might be. I don't know. He was quite old. He was an older gentleman.
He might be dead.
Sorry, I just sniffled into the microphone.
That's all right. That's okay. You got rid of all the extra facial hair. The germs will be gone. So
that's what it is. Okay. And so, as I have said in previous episodes, that we're actually, believe it or not, it's hard to believe with all these stories that we're telling right now about the awful people we have been, that we're actually, our goal for this show is to put some positivity out into the world and have some fun, but like probably more so at our own expenses or strangers, like in news stories, like a guy getting his shirt ripped off on an airplane and stuff
flatulente.
Like yes, the guy getting kicked off the airplane for farting too much. Stuff like that. I'm probably going to pick on the Amish a lot because I believe our Amish following is minuscule. Probably
a couple Yoders here and there, but nothing to brag about. Oh,
Lenny,
I'm all right. I'm all right. That was close. I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. What do you got? You got any little funny tidbit we could pick on?
Oh, sure, Lenny. Sure. Just to quickly remember, another story to run into is, we played baseball in high school. I was terrible. Absolutely one of the worst baseball players to ever put on a uniform. And remember our pal struck out at the plate and comes over to the dugout and sits down on his ad, and we sit behind him. Cheer up, number 2.
Oh, we cheered him up.
And he wanted no part of it.
Oh, no. Number 2. He just wanted no part of it.
Scowled at us, and we just kept, cheer up, number 2.
He never did cheer up.
I mean, we're there to have fun. Cheer up, number 2.
A valiant effort on our part to cheer up number 2.
We wanted number 2 to be happy. We don't like seeing number 2 upset.
Poor number 2. I mean,
Uh,
I think he struck out multiple times at that single game.
yeah, and yeah, which foul mood, and
Oh, yeah.
we took it upon ourselves to.
I think we even pumped it up. We raised our voices and followed through with the number 2 and dragged it out, and nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing. Number 2 was angry.
he was angry, and we appeared to be making him angrier, which I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Well,
I
he
mean,
knew if he struck out again, he was going to get serenaded. And he was. He was
yeah.
number 2.
Can you imagine him going up to the plate and like choking up on the bat and be like, "If those fuckers are gonna sing if I."
Shut the fuck up, number 2. I'm playing like number 2.
so we may have gotten into his head and made things worse. I don't know.
That was pretty much the plan at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more number 2 got mad, the more we
poured it on. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bring it on, number 2. Bring it on. Yes. And he's a friend. He was a friend.
Oh yeah, good friend. Good friend.
I was thinking the other day too. It's like, a lot of times if people are telling stories or they try to change the name or whatever.
Mhm.
The funny thing is 90% of our friends had nicknames.
Yeah.
They had we never called each other by our names.
No.
My
no.
parents used to get mad because they're like, I don't even know who the hell so and so's Sneb.
Right.
Like what's
Yeah.
Sneb's real name? They
Right.
didn't know people's real names. It was funny.
Well, Sneb had about 12 nicknames. So.
Yeah, poor Sneb. And then by the day we would call each other stuff. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's poor Sneb,
But
Snebble, Rebel.
and we are going out of our way to not mention names because throughout the course of any of our stories, because we just don't know how anybody's going to take it, and it's just better off we'll tell our stories, not directing any attention on anybody, because that's again, we're here to put smiles on faces, not upset people, and anything we
And Sneb is a beloved old friend.
Oh yeah,
just a thought of the man makes me smile.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was that guy that I always talk about our class, and I don't really want to get into a tangent about school and our class or anything, because who cares? But we had an exceptionally funny group of people, and to where I still wholeheartedly, of course, I'm notoriously hard on myself, but I still to this day insist that people that know me consider me a funny person. I wasn't in the top 5 of the funny people in our class.
Oh,
I mean, we had a really funny group of guys.
Everybody was funny in their own way, though. I mean, so don't downplay it. But everybody had their own humorous.
Somewhere along the line, I figured out that I'm at my best if I'm setting other people up for the last. That's in Hollywood terms, that's called the straight guy. It's Seinfeld. We love Seinfeld. You could not do a show where Kramer is the main character. You needed Jerry there to react. I guess that's
everybody played their part. Yeah.
The Caddyshack is one of the greatest comedies ever made. The most important role in that is the main character, Danny Noonan, and he's not funny throughout the whole thing, but he's there to push the story along and make let everybody else take the stage. And I kind of feel like that was my role in school, was to
and clothing was an option.
Clothing is always optional.
I mean, you stop and think about the era we went to school in. Not that this has any relevance, but our gym teacher used to sit there and watch young naked boys take a shower. Nowadays, he'd go to jail.
Yeah, that was a thing that somewhere along the way, academically speaking, gym teachers were told, no, you have to go in and stare at those naked kids and make sure that they're actually showering after gym class. Could you imagine that mandate coming down now? Like, it's,
yeah. Oh, yeah. And they proudly did. They proudly.
Oh,
just like they were guarding the Caesar's palace or something. They're, I see you over there. You can buff in the wood.
So I enough of the high school reminiscing. I do have a topic. So and this is one that I'm stealing from a meme. You know, I can't take any original credit for this, but here's what I want you to picture. The government reinstitutes the draft, but instead of sending people away to war to fight, it's not the you're not drafted into the military. You are randomly drafted into the Olympics. You could be sitting at home. Oh, the mailman just went by. Go out and check mail. You've been drafted. I, Lenny Bruce, have to do the Olympic compete or represent the United States on the balance beam.
Whoa, here we go. So you have to do it then.
You have to. You go to jail. You would go to jail if you don't. You're drafted. The government needs you. They need you to represent us in the ever important Olympic Games.
How am I doing? How am I doing? Oh man, no age restriction or nothing.
No.
Oh, that makes it even better.
Oh, of course. I mean, and it's going to be other countries too. I mean, you're going to be, they're competing. Like, have you ever? Oh, we're figure skating. Have you ever put on ice skates before? Yeah, me neither.
Perfect. On the balance beam, competing against some 80-year-old Asian man. And
except I know my luck. I mean, I'll pull the balance beam and it'll be an actual gymnast that got randomly drafted. Like,
you got to do it too, or you're going to jail. You can do it.
Just try to do a cartwheel that goes into a roundup and just fall off the side and like.
It was a good effort, Andy. Good effort. We pack up and go see Grandma. Where's Grandma this weekend? Oh, she's doing a 100-meter dash. She'll most likely drop dead, but better than rotting in jail.
She's doing her duty.
She's doing her duty. Run, Granny, run! She's running against a 17-year-old athletic Swedish boy, and she wins.
She's booking it.
Dun, 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 slow-mo.
But it's real time.
Somebody running next door with her oxygen mask. Pete's going to jail, you old bat. Run your ass.
Might be further ahead. Be like, go, take me away.
You know what? Granny's in jail. Granny didn't make
it. I don't even know how to swim, so doing the swim relay probably not going to be a good idea.
Uncle Fred sank like a rock, that moron. Stupid ass. He should have went to jail.
I mean,
son of a bitch.
It is very important to represent yourself represent your country in the Olympics.
Yes. Oh my word! What are the rings there? Sitting there trying to twirl, snap an ankle off in one of the rings. What is it? Skinning the cat?
Just swinging back and forth. That's all you can do.
Yeah, straight out. How's that? USA! USA! Pop that guy's shoulders back into place, will you? He sucks. Speaking of grannies.
Yes.
I think I was joking about this the other night with you.
It's funny because you brought this out as a hypothetical, not realizing that I lived this. So go ahead.
Oh yeah. I was laughing because we were watching one of them home network shows there that sells all kinds of sharp. And this one guy sticks out, brags up and down that his meatballs are from his grandmother's recipe. And then it kind of started a trend. So now everywhere you see these food items for sale, grandmas. Well, somebody's grandmother was a shitty cook, I guarantee it. So you can't really go on that. And Andy, he confessed that his grandmother was a shardy cook.
She was awful. She was awful.
So somebody might have bought one of her recipes.
No, they didn't. I could pretty much guarantee that. So yeah, I love my grandmother dearly. She passed away a few years ago. She was not a nice person. I mean, she was nice to me. But I will add that caveat. She loved me. Something about me. She didn't always like her own kids. She didn't always like the other grandkids. No, I think she liked the grandkids, but yeah,
It came out in her cooking.
Yeah.
Her personality came out in her shitty cooking.
To this day, I can eat a pumpkin pie if there's lots of Cool Whip on it, and I can eat a pumpkin roll, and that is the only pumpkin flavor I can tolerate because Grandma got on a kick one year because Grandma didn't realize that she wasn't a good cook. She thought.
Did you lie to her? Did you lead her on that she was a good cook?
I
think that's the path that these people go down. Like, oh, Grandma, and then they're like,
as a little kid, I don't know if I had that in me. You know, I mean, like, I will tell you that like my daughter is only a year old, but I mean, if she's not in the mood for something, she'll just throw it on the floor after a handful of it, and it's like, yeah, and so kids don't really have that. So I'm sure I was probably like, no thanks, Grandma.
No, Grandma, I'm full.
Well, she made pumpkin cookies, pumpkin bread, pumpkin donuts, pumpkin slippers. I don't know. But she just did not have that. So like when all these people talk about like, oh yeah, you know, it's like used to go over and get fed by Grandma and stuff like that, and I'm like, I remember going over to my grandma's house and she found a way to screw up ramen noodles. I had some, I don't know what, but I had some really bad ramen noodles at
Granny's boiled water tastes like crap. It really does. And I laugh about that. That's no different than doctors. You know, there's doctors that are great, and there's doctors that have a doctor. You know, they have a license to treat you, but they finished at the bottom of their class.
So in 2015, and so I believe it's I don't really want to. So somebody that I know that worked in the medical field for their whole career once confided in me that the ER doctors are the bottom rung. Like nobody wants to be an ER doctor, and these are the ones that just are desperate for a job. So and they're desperate for and they just. In 2015, I ruptured my distal bicep tendon, which is the tendon on your arm that kind of holds the bicep in place and kind of holds the whole arm together. And when I went to the emergency room, and it was kind of obvious what happened, I didn't know the name of it at the time. I just like, oh, my
arm hurts.
My bicep is up on my shoulder, so it's not supposed to be like that. I went to the ER, and the doctor comes over, and he's like, we're moving my bicep up and down the arm, and he's like, is that not normally like that? And I'm like, no, it's definitely not normally like that. And I was like, yeah, the little the little lump right here is gone. You know, there's nothing there right now. And he just kept moving it. And like finally the nurse comes in and she's like, he clearly ripped his tendon. He needs surgery. And he's like, oh, okay. And,
I'm the janitor. What the hell do I
know? So, I mean, now that's, I've had other terrible ER experiences, but yeah, that's like, I don't want to get into a COVID thing because COVID was like a hornet's nest and everybody has their opinions and I respect most people's opinions. But when they were sending out these YouTube videos of this ER doctor says this and that, and I was like, yeah, they're the idiots. I'm not going to listen to. They're the dumb ones that can't get hired anyplace else. You know, they're yeah.
They flip a quarter with the janitor. He's like, hey, you know what?
That said, I am sure that there are some really good ER doctors out there, but typically the ER doctors are. I mean, if you're a good doctor, you get your own practice, you know, and so on and so forth. And
I'm not picking on janitors either. They might be the smartest guy in the building. I'm just saying.
Oh, I know a few.
He chose to be the janitor, so yeah, he didn't want to be the doctor. But
I know
the doctor should have been the janitor.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Andy, I tell you.
Yes. So yeah, we had that. Anyways, I just had another story here. I just kind of looking around found that there's a website out there. There's a medical study has been shown that if you cry once a week, it's very good for you. and the body needs that release, I guess. And so a website has come out called cryoncea.week.com. And I went to this website. I don't recommend you go to that website
Did you
because
cry?
I didn't cry, but it was a downer. I watched a 10-minute video that was from a dying dog's point of view. And I was like,
Yeah, nah. Yeah,
no. Somebody
there's
filmed that too, it's like, and it was filmed really well. I will say that the production values were good and everything, but I don't know. If I want to cry, I'll just go to my bank account and look at that. And
there's other ways to cry.
yeah,
I prefer to laugh. I think
yeah.
that I think
I think
laughter would be the better medicine.
I think that there's probably studies that show that laughter is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a show out there called Naked and Afraid.
I've seen it.
That makes me sad. That show gets ratings. Naked and Afraid.
Yes.
Naked. No, Andy.
No.
I'm all for the nudity part, just for the laughter. The humor side of it. But Afraid.
There are few things funnier than a naked man.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to add comedy to the situation, strip naked.
Naked.
Yep.
Nudity.
I'm not wearing pants right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who knows? And that makes it funny, Andy.
Yes.
You're naked.
Yeah. Well, the male body is a funny, lumpy, dangly thing. There's the occasional rip cut guys that are chiseled, and that ain't me.
They're still gonna be funny. No matter what.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, the guy in an airplane gets his shirt ripped off, sucked out the door. Yeah.
No matter what, it's funny.
And he's just sitting there.
You fucking guy.
I tried. So on the show, I want to have guests. Not just anyone, but I want to have guests that I think would add something fun to the show. And I sent out so many requests for people that with flying, whether they be pilots or flight staff, like a stewardess or steward. Yeah, not one response from any of them. But again, we've had, and thankful to all of our viewers, but we've had around 120 average, I think, per video. And they're not gonna talk to us for that.
What about Sully Sullenberger or whatever?
Sully won't leave me alone. He wants to come on the show.
He's had his spotlight.
I'm like, Sully, you crashed. I want to talk to a pilot that didn't crash. No.
Yeah, right.
Kidding.
The hell with him. He looks a little too much like Colonel Sanders. Mark Twain kind of had a kid type of thing, and not gonna fly. Maybe
Colonel Sanders and Mark Twain had a kid,
and had Sully Sullenberger.
Sully Sullenberger did have a great cameo at not to ruin too much, but if you haven't seen it, Daddy's Home 2, which has quickly become one of my favorite Christmas movies. Yeah. Had a pretty funny cameo at the end.
That's funny. That's funny, Andy.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that.
My wife gets so mad because I'm a terrible critic. I mean, not a critic, but like I find that funny people, it's harder to make them laugh sometimes. And I am a person that will like thoroughly enjoy a joke, and she'll show me a meme or something like that, and I'll just be like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And she's like, not a laugh, no, I said it was awesome though. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't laugh. I'm like, no, but it really was funny. It just didn't. Oh, yeah.
I feel the same way. There's a lot of comedians too. Like, I find myself kind of a hard critic because, especially with
I'm really hard on stand-up comedians. And I have no business to be, but I am.
I know, but like you said, I mean, when we have, I don't know, our sense of humors are. Especially, it's disappointing when you see like a comedian that got a sitcom that turned out really good, and then you see them stand up like 10 years after they do the sitcom that was successful, and it's like, no, you're ruining it for me. You're ruining it.
And there's been comedians that I really wanted to like, and it definitely would have made life easier. I'm not, again, not really naming names, but I will in this case because I just don't care, and whatever. Dane Cook, not a funny man. Good actor, actually. I've liked very many of his, I've liked quite a few of his movies. I don't think very many is actually an actual term. But
it is today.
It is today. But my ex-wife, and it was clearly because she thought he was hot, which, he's a good-looking guy. But she was a huge Dane Cook fan, went to see him in concert a couple of times, and or maybe once, I don't know. But I was like, and I'd sit there, was like, well, this, if I like this guy, it's something we can talk about, something we can share. I wanted to like him so badly as a stand-up comedian, and he just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, crappy. They're out there.
Yeah.
And especially, I always think if you got like a real funny sitcom and it did really, really well, and they want to go back to their roots, and I get it, but it's like, well, choose wisely.
Yes. Lenny?
Sound like thunder. Help me, Andy. Help me.
I'm on my way.
What do you think? What do you think of the situation, Andy? We got 40 minutes. We don't want to bore 40 minutes.
People. We don't. Yeah, leave people wanting more. So yeah, we'll work on wrapping this up here. Again, I'd like to thank everybody that's again, we've had a lot of people reach out to us and tell us they're enjoying the show. I will tell you that I would definitely like to get our numbers up, but I love this man on the other side of the screen, and as long as he and I are having a good time doing this and having this excuse to like get together and work on something together, we're gonna keep doing the show. I just
ditto.
Yeah. So it's
not always going to be side splitting laughter type of thing, but we're going to have some laughs.
I've always held my to I don't really like idling people, but I can't help that I was always a huge David Letterman fan and a huge Conan O'Brien fan. And the thing about Letterman was he wasn't always funny, but he was interesting. I could sit there and listen to Letterman talk about anything and just kind of be enthralled by it.
Cut his toenails.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
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 So yeah, no, so I mean, yeah, the show is not always like supposed to be side-splittingly funny, but whenever we can pull that off, we will definitely try to do that for you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just about having fun, and hopefully, you're hearing us tell stories about stuff, and hopefully that'll jog your memory for some fun stories that you had over the years, and stirring the cake. Don't forget to stir the cake.
You gotta stir the cake. She didn't stir the cake.
No, she forgot to stir the cake. She forgot.
And then you verbally abused that woman.
I did.
Verbally abused her.
I did. If there was ever a person that did not deserve to be verbally abused, I did it though.
You did,
and we watched a guy almost die, and we're disappointed that he didn't. And then we tried to sell his scooter for $300.
That brought back we were putting a triple bypass to its test.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he's gone.
Hopefully he's dead. Yeah. So, do us a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel, keep coming back, and, definitely feel free to interact with us on social media and make this as fun as, we had our first troll. I was trolled.
What the hell's a troll?
A troll is a I would say a spineless person that has internet muscles.
Oh,
somebody reached out. I listened to your show and it fucking sucked. He said. I was like, all right. I did not really feel the need to talk to him, so I just kind of not going to be for everybody. But a troll is somebody that will say stuff online that that they're far too much of a coward to say it to you if they bumped into you. But it's easier when you're
probably. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but we did get trolled. So there's that. That means that we've got something's happening here. So
I would expect a lot more of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it is not going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, like and subscribe, follow us, interact with us, and just we hope you're enjoying yourselves as much as we're enjoying making it. And I want to say thanks a lot, and we will see you next week. I'm gonna go lay down, take some medicine, and
feel well, Andy. Be well.
thanks, Len.